Oh my God, week 6 is enormous. I'm picking against at least one top 5 team that I know of and munching on chicken fingers at Stickies, not necessarily in that order of importance.
It's simple. We love college football, we love ridiculous food, so let's pick some huge games against the spread every week and eat until it hurts. It's easy call.
Really, there are almost too many good games. We've got 5 enormous ones. As always, lines are subject to change, but you already knew that. The first one, SEC, Alabama, 5.5-point favorites going to Ole Miss. This one's gonna be fun. We've got 2 top 15 teams. Keys for the Tide, number 1, X's and O's. They are going to need to be able to turn this into a slugfest against a very talented Ole Miss secondary, and they can do that, and if they get sluggy, play action. That's a thing. Speed, second key. We know about Amari Cooper, but how are options 2, 3, and 4 going to do against a ridiculous Ole Miss secondary? And finally, the offensive line. Alabama's playing faster than ever, and they now have a mobile quarterback. They are going to be gassed. They are going to be tired, but this is going to be a fun matchup. Keys for Ole Miss. Number 1, that defensive front, very good, but not great running right at them. They need to be stout against the run, especially because Derrick Henry's on the other side of the field. Number 2, X's and O's for Ole Miss. Their run game, their offensive line, especially on the inside, not scaring a ton of people. They have to be good at dinking and dunking with Dr. Bo. And final key, tempo. They like to play fast. Alabama has struggled against very good no-huddle teams, but it's a double-edged sword. The offensive line gains an advantage, but you go off the field quickly on 3rd and outs. That defense is on the field a long time against Alabama. I'm going Tide here. They're probably a couple touchdowns better on a neutral field, but at Ole Miss, let's call it 24-13. Still waiting for Ole Miss to score a point from last year, so let's go Tide. All right, we've got poppers. It is Sticky's finger joint. We're starting with poppers. 4 different, I love sauce options. Gotta have sauce options. We've got a light dusting of seasoning. You've got wasabi mayo. You've got Thai chili. You've got the homemade ranch with sriracha. You've got a yin yang. Honey mustard and barbecue. Love that yin yang. Let's go with that first. Get a little of each. Mess in the yin yang with the delicate balance. Good size popper. Oh, very tender. Except for the sriracha ranch. It's creamy and spicy. Might as well be yin yang. Ooh. Second game, Stanford, after a tough-fought win at Washington, goes on the road to Notre Dame, who had a very nice night themselves against Syracuse. Keys for Stanford, who are 1.5-point favorites on the road at this point. First, coaching, 3rd downs, red zone, offensive play calling. Where are you at? Next key, their secondary might be the best in the country, if not up there. They are a top-level secondary, and they have a tough task with Everett Golson. He's going to be on point the entire game. And finally, their offensive line. Always the case with Stanford. They need to be great against a really good Notre Dame front, and after a week of a very physical defensive front of Washington, they need to play 4 very tough quarters. Keys for the Irish. First, Everett Golson. Throws a bunch of passes accurately, but also he's got to be way cleaner. 4, well, not turnovers, but 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. They got 1 back against Syracuse. Not going to fly against Stanford. Next key for Notre Dame, their offensive line. Young, inexperienced, and they can be taken advantage of. 3rd and 4 is hard enough against Stanford. 3rd and 14, not going to happen. And final key, their own defensive front. They need to get to Kevin Hogan. He's good, but as we've seen, when the going gets tough, red zone, big 3rd downs, turnovers happen. He can be shaken, let's call it. I'm gonna go Stanford here. There's the turnover thing scares me about Notre Dame. They haven't played anybody that I love so far. That gives me a big indication. I'm gonna go Stanford here, tight, 17-14. I think it's a close one, but they cover. All right, let's get these other 2 sauces in my life. We have got the Thai chili, so the sweet and spice together. See how this is very meaty popper. Ooh, okay. Almost like an elite high-level sweet and sour. Then we're gonna bounce it out with the real spicy and creamy with the wasabi aioli. This one. There's one. Good heat, not overwhelming, but gives you that nice punch. I'm a fan of this. I'm going to Stanford again. Close game, 17-14. Pro sauce. Next game, and this one's going to be big fun and loud. Texas A&M going on the road to Mississippi State a week after their huge win against Arkansas. Get these out of my way. Give me these buffalo chicken tenders. It's so much good things happening in front of me, but I'll get into these. Keys for Texas A&M on the road, their youth, especially on defense, after their huge win going against a very physical Mississippi State team. Next, the road. Guess what Starkville is? A very loud, difficult place to play a week after a big win. That's a huge challenge for a young defense. And finally, the offensive line, gonna have to give Kenny Hill time because this defense is big and experienced. Keys for Clang'a, Mississippi State. Dak Prescott in quarterback position, gonna be enormous. He has to do it through the air and on the ground. Against this Texas A&M defense, he should be able to have some success. Next, the offensive line, big and experienced against a young defensive front for Texas A&M that did show some vulnerability inside against Arkansas. And finally, the secondary. They haven't played against a good quarterback. Kenny Hill's a good quarterback. They need to be deep at this position. Second, third, fourth corners, safeties. They're going to be stressed and in coverage. All that said, I'm taking Mississippi State here. Can I pick against a team that has a letdown spot in a loud place that's young? I'm going to do that. Mississippi State, I feel good about this. We'll say 27-21. Yeah, I'm going dogs here. I'm going these Buffalo. See, I could eat these with a fork and knife, but come on. There's fingers in the title of this place. So we got little crumbles, little blue cheese crumbles. We got the Buffalo balsamic glaze. Let's see. The heat's early on. We got the good balance of the spice and butteriness. The sauce, like the shredded carrots. Color. Eat with your mind, eat with your eyes. All right, let's go Big 12. I'm really excited for this one. Oklahoma, 4.5-point favorites on the road at TCU. We're gonna get these spicy chicken fingers out as I talk about a spicy Big 12 game. Am I right? Keys for Oklahoma, the quarterback position. Trevor Knight, still young, still a little bit raw, very, very good, but going to a hostile place against a very good defense. Next, coaching. Josh Heupel, his adjustments at the half, going against a very good, a very fast TCU defense that was basically built for Oklahoma's offense. And finally, the defensive front for Oklahoma forced Trevon Boykin to become a pocket passer. As soon as he gets outside the pocket, so incredibly dangerous in this new offense. Keys for the Frogs. Number one, their defensive front is big and strong and fast, and they need to be fantastic. Force Trevor Knight to go 3rd and 8. That's huge. P. Ryan and Knight are going to be good, a little bit less dangerous on 3rd and long, force those passing downs. Next, speed for TCU. We know BJ Catalon is good, want to see big things from Listenby and Gray, soften that Oklahoma defense. And finally, coaching. Very curious about the combination of Sonny Cumbie and Trevon Boykin, very new together. What does the game plan look like? What do the adjustments to the adjustments look like? This is going to be a fun chess match, but if you can give me a home dog with a really good defense and a lot of offensive skill talent and an experienced offensive line, I'm going to take those home points. They could keep it very close. They could win outright. Gary Patterson always does a great job against Bob Stoops. Let's take TCU here. Let's take a moment to enjoy. We've got a finger on a roll. This is the parm one. We've got sauce and cheese. We've got the sauce underneath it. The finger's a great size for this bun. Let the bass play. And finally, the last one, a fun Big Ten game, which we don't get to say that often. Nebraska going on the road to Michigan State. The Spartans are 8.5-point favorites. Keys for the Huskers. Running back, Amir Abdullah could be the best player in this game, probably is the best player in this game. If he and the offensive line and the coaching staff are playing in concert, that's a great thing. Number two, X's and O's. Nebraska needs to figure out, because they're going to find themselves in 3rd and 7 situations against a very good Michigan State defense, what they can do against that defense. They're great on 3rd downs. Michigan State's defense great on stopping 3rd downs. It's going to be a fun push and pull. And the final key for Nebraska, their defensive front. Randy Gregory and that front have been fantastic as far as getting into other teams' backfields. Going to have to do a lot of that against a so-so offensive line for Michigan State. Keys for Sparty. Number one, quarterback. Connor Cook is fantastic. He's now playing against a Nebraska secondary that's been very good, but kind of untested. Gave up some yards to Miami. Number two for Michigan State, coaching. They were out-schemed in their one big game this year pretty significantly in the second half by Oregon. They need to have wrinkles ready for this Nebraska offense or defense in the second half. And finally, the biggest key, and I'll swap out the food for this one because we've got some ridiculous bacon cheddar fries. We got a cheese sauce. Oh my God, it's mustardy. I'm very excited about this. Final key for Michigan State, their defensive front against the Nebraska running game. That's the whole game. That is it. That is all you need to know. I'm going Michigan State here. I think Nebraska has shown too much in the way of weaknesses at certain points. They've struggled against sort of lower teams. Injury is still suspect for them. I'm going to go Michigan State here, 28-17. I think they cover this spread. Holy hell. Because this is so saucy, I'm going to do some dipping power rankings. These fries look great. Number one, barbecue sauce. Not standard store-bought, regular-ass homemade barbecue sauce. That's your best fried dipping option. Number two, honey mustard. Especially if it has a slight kick. I like the sweetness. I like mustard. Fantastic. Number three, some sort of aioli, whether it's sriracha aioli, whether it's, some sort of mixed mayo combination deal. And number 4, let's go some sort of like a hot sauce, like a buffalo sauce. I think it's an underrated dipping option for fries. And bonus, junior edition, ketchup. Ketchup. All right, those are the picks. Stanford, Alabama, TCU, Michigan State, Mississippi State. I'm feeling saucy about my picks this week, so let's make money. Let's go to Stickies. Let's have a great old time. See you next week.